Hi, everybody. I am Jamie with Huskyberry. If you've ever wanted to make your own crochet charts but felt intimidated by the design software, this lesson is where you can start. This video is actually one lesson from a full course I created to help hobbyists and indie designers alike learn how to create crochet charts in Illustrator and soon Affinity Designer. With optimized settings and streamlined workspace, you can spend more time designing and less time aligning objects and fighting with the software. In the full course, you will learn how to create more advanced crochet symbols and build straight, square, and round charts efficiently and beautifully. If that sounds helpful, you can find the link to the course below. But for now, let's start by creating the symbols that will become the building blocks of our charts. Under the Properties tab, make sure that the grid is showing, the Smart Guides are on, and that Snap to Grid is on. In the control bar, set the stroke color to black and the stroke size to 1 pixel. We will primarily use 3 tools for creating our symbols. The Direct Selection tool, which can be accessed by pressing A on the keyboard. This allows us to move the nodes or specific points of our lines. The Selection tool, which can be accessed by pressing V on the keyboard. This allows us to move entire objects. And the Line tool, which can be accessed by pressing \/ on the keyboard. This creates the strokes that will make up our symbols. With our Line tool selected, click on one of the darker grid lines. This will open a tool options box. For the first line, we want the length to be 20 and the angle to be 270 degrees. Click OK. Alternatively, you can click on the workspace, hold, and with Shift held down, drag. For our purposes, the toolbox option is better as we want to be precise on the length of our lines. For the top of our symbol, click on one of the subdivision lines, and in the tool options box, we want 8 pixels and -90 degrees. This has made our half double crochet symbol. To customize the symbol, go to Stroke, and under the cap, you can set the ends to be flat or rounded. For the purposes of this tutorial, we will leave them flat. Let's create a double crochet symbol. Change to our selection tool by pressing V. Drag to select both lines and press Command C or Control C on Windows to copy, and then Command V or Control V on Windows to paste. This will give us a copy of our half double crochet. Alternatively, you can select both lines and hold down the Option key or Alt on Windows. You'll see that the cursor turns into a black and white cursor. You will then drag and this will create a duplicate. Clear your selection by double-clicking anywhere on the artboard. We're going to want our Line tool again, which you can access by the \/ key. Click on the grid, and for this line, we want the length to be 4 pixels, and we want the angle to be -90 degrees. Now we will drag this line and place it someplace along the long line of our crochet symbol. Where you specifically want this is up to you. Now we have our half double crochet symbol. To make our triple crochet, let's duplicate our double crochet by selecting all of the lines, holding Option and dragging. Double click on the artboard to clear, and now let's just select the last line we made. Again, hold Option or Alt for Windows and pull down. Now we have our triple crochet symbol. Let's move these aside and let's make a single crochet. Single crochet symbols are either an X or a cross. Let's make ours with an X so we can learn about how to make lines at an angle. Let's activate our Line tool by pressing \/ on the keyboard and clicking somewhere on the artboard. For our line, we are going to want it to be 16 pixels wide and 225 degrees. Click V to get our selection tool, and let's right-click on the line and go to Transform. We are going to click Reflect. We're going to want to make sure that we are at a vertical of 90 degrees, and you can see that this changes by clicking Preview. Click Copy. Now we have our single crochet, half double, double, and triple crochet symbols. You will notice that these are all the same size. Some charts like to make the half double crochet smaller than the double crochets and so forth. For our purposes, we are going to leave them all the same size. But as you progress in your ability to create these, you can adjust the sizes as you see fit. Now let's make our chain symbol. We're going to scoot these over and go over to the side panel to the rectangle tool. If you press down on the little gray triangle in the corner, a new menu will open. We want to select the ellipse tool. Now we are just going to hold down and drag because how you make your chain is up to you. You can make it more oval or you can make it more round. We're going to make ours slightly oval, and we want to make sure that it is not any wider than our crochet symbols. What you do want to make sure, however, is that once you have decided what the shape is going to be, that you come up to the stroke and make it 1 pixel. Now that we have our chain, let's make a symbol for the slip stitch. For this, we are going to come back over to the ellipse tool and we're going to hold down Shift and drag. Now, because slip stitches are generally a solid circle, we're going to scoot over to the stroke and fill section of the toolbox, and we are going to click this arrow to swap the color from stroke to fill. Now that we have all of our basic symbols, we can move on to making more complicated symbols. So meet me back in the next episode. Thanks for watching.